Okay. I'm standing on the shore of the Zambezi, a snaking river of muscular water that carves a border between the countries of Zambia and Zimbabwe. Beside me, in the glorious noon sunshine, are my mom and younger sister. Two green fiberglass canoes, scuffed from adventure, await. Our guides, Vincent, the older, portly one, and Innocent, the wiry, younger one, are preparing us for a safari that will take us through wildlife preserves and conclude just as the sun sets somewhere in the pooling water above Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. After perusing my dog-eared Lonely Planet guide, we signed up for this canoe safari because it seemed quintessentially Africa to me. My mom was concerned about the crocodiles. I said not to worry about the crocs. Why? She asked dubiously. Because, I said, oozing a confident nonchalance, the real problem is the hippos. They're unpredictable, and when people get too close, they charge, knocking over boats. They've been known to kill people with their teeth or drown them. But the crocodiles won't bother us if we mind our own business. That did not reassure her. But then again, she lacked the protective quality of my well-seasoned youthful denial. I'd spent months hitchhiking in the backs of trucks through lightning storms, riding with strangers. I'd contracted Shigella, a waterborne parasite that made me spew my insides out multiple directions, and I'd survived after a week-long stint with the nurse. I was YOLO before social media made #YOLO a thing. So now the 3 of us are listening as our canoe guides teach us how to safe safari. Vincent is the big talker. While he explains the rules in his rich Shona accent, the quieter Innocent readies the boats. Number 1, do not put your hands in the water. Crocodiles cannot tell the difference between your hands and the fish. So many people have lost their hands that way. Number 2, if you should be knocked from the boat by a hippo, do not get back into the boat. It will come again. No, you must swim for the show. He tells us that he will periodically bang his paddle against the canoe to frighten away any sneaky hippos. He is experienced, and we trust his good sense. Vincent wraps up this orientation with a story of his own escapades. Once he was chased by a crocodile, and he had to hit it on the head with his paddle to scare it off. He chuckles with his big belly and patchy beard and soft voice. When it is time to climb into our vessels, Vincent takes my sister and me. My mom rides with Innocent. The men sit at the back of the canoes. For 2 hours, our safari is serene. We stretch out in the sun, rolling up our pant legs and feeling the breeze on our skin. The Zambezi is wide and winding, opening up in sections so broadly that shallow islands dot the center. The crocodiles keep their distance, and we come upon an elephant swimming across the river. Nothing like its lumbering self on land, it gracefully undulates through the water, head out, trunk up, ears rippling. Lilac-breasted rollers, the color of Easter with their lavender and cyan feathers, dip and swing like acrobats across the sky. We spot an African fish eagle in the trees, see giraffes come to drink, and witness elephants mating, one atop the other in the deep waters. Even with all the safaris under his belt, Vincent says he has never seen he has only seen this once before. And both guides dutifully tap on the canoes every few minutes. Tap, 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 tap. When we finally do see a cluster of hippos, our cautious guides keep well away, so far that we are slightly annoyed at how small the creatures appear. Their ears poke out of the water, twitching. A hippo over there. See it? The nostrils and eyes? And one over there. Tap, tap. They are dark little lumps that do not move with the current. They look as dangerous as rocks. Then, bam! One slams into the back end of my mom's canoe, launching it up and catapulting Innocent and his paddle into the air. Innocent begins his swim for the shore. Vincent can see that the current is sweeping my mom into deeper, more hippo-infested waters, so he paddles urgently toward her. My sister and I look back at Innocent, so close to the river's edge, trying to see if he is all right. With his irregular cadence in the overhanging tree branches, it's hard to tell. Suddenly, my mom, who has the clearer vantage point, stands up, shouting and pointing, "He's drowning! Turn around!" After a few quick twists of his neck to triage the situation, Vincent turns the canoe in a wide arc, too slowly. My sister and I scan the water for Innocent. Wait, we see his fingertips. Vincent commands us to throw him a life jacket. We do, but he can't grab it. He doesn't even seem to realize it's there. And then he's gone. Really gone. Not a ripple or bubble to be seen. The life jacket bobs away. We approach the spot where we saw him last. I look at my sister, and together we act on sheer instinct. Plunging our hands into the water elbow deep, we wave them around, hoping to bump into him, hoping no crocodile latches on to one of us. To reach deeper, we hook our feet under the wooden seats and lean over the edge of the boat as far as we can, up to our armpits in murky water. Seconds feel like minutes, which feel like a sure sign of imminent doom. No Innocent. We sit back over our legs in a squat, watching the surface. The silence is heavy. I wish for the sound of a splash, the choking noise of a man whose mouth is sucking air and water desperately, any sign of life. Oh God, please, 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 please fix this. Suddenly, the light color of his palm flashes beneath the brown water like the quick shimmer of a fish. I lunge, grab his wrist tightly, and pull with the ape-like strength that humans access only in emergencies. He surges up over the side of the canoe, gasping for air, water flowing off his back, running into his eyes and splashing our legs. Then he collapses in a puddle in the bottom of the boat. He's trembling. He manages to explain that while he was swimming, the hippo grazed his leg and his whole body froze in panic. He couldn't even get himself to the surface to call for help. We pat him on the back, trying to be comforting. But a glance at my mom reveals that she is heading toward danger herself, drifting close to the family of hippos, a dozen maybe, which is also in the direction of the falls, which are not so far away at this point in our journey. She's aware of her vulnerability, crouching in her paddleless canoe, an undignified stance, bracing herself with ankles out, knees pressed together, and hands gripping the edges in her determination to avoid being chucked from the boat should the hippo strike again. The mist from the falls downstream glitters in the late afternoon sun like diamond dust tossed to the wind. Our guides decide to offload my sister and me to safety and drop us on the steep bank before turning back to collect the floating paddle and rescue my mom. To reach my mom, Vincent and Innocent must first get past the angry hippo, who is now guarding its territory with weighty breaths and menacing eyes. Both paddles in hand, the guides push forward timidly. As they draw near, the hippo snorts and lunges, and they frantically retreat. Craning to see around an overhanging tree, my sister and I wonder how badly this might end. It can't end badly, can it? Will it even end? Because there is no resolution in sight as far as we can tell. My stomach twists, bravery is no match for a hippo picking a fight. The heat presses in on us. There's no breeze beneath the trees. Flies circle our heads and land on our sweat. We shoo at them and wait. Vincent and Innocent don't give up, but they aren't making progress either. Out, back into the shallows, out and backwards. Then we hear an engine, barely. It grows louder, comes closer, and from the bend in the river appears a motorized party boat, the kind with a striped canopy and vinyl bench seats. Partiers with glass bottles in hand, laughing, no scrubs, bumping from the speakers. We jump up and down, waving our arms. We yell, help, and point at my mom. The boat whizzes past the hippos, and one by one their heads go under and reappear further away. It takes several agonizing seconds, but then the driver of the boat slows and cuts the power, drawing up to the side of the canoe. Someone grabs the edge. My mom assumes a more noble seated position, and they bring it gently toward the shore. The party boat stops a few yards out, and Vincent gives my mom's canoe a shove with his paddle. When both canoes are in, the boat backs away and we shout, "Oh my gosh, thank you, did you see the hippos?" We try to explain the nightmare, but they hadn't noticed any hippos, and those aren't just sodas in their hands. These people are drunk and having a grand time, and they think they just pushed some clueless tourist lady to shore. Innocent hops out and pulls the ropes, holding the canoe snug against the bank. My sister and I reach for my mom, supporting her arms as she wobbles onto land. Vincent secures the canoes, and then we all drop to the solid earth, muscles weak and skin sticky. We sit in a crescent, damp soil seeping into the seats of our pants, knees bent, feet pressing downward to keep us upright on the sharp incline. Vincent pulls out a cooler and distributes the green bottles of beer, all cavalier and cheery. And we recount our greatest moments of the past hour. Things like sticking our hands in the river despite the warnings, and the guides facing off against the snorting hippo, almost like bullfighters in the ring. And my mom in her precarious pose, the kind of visual that makes for good sitcom material. And we laugh it off, YOLO and all. But the presence of Innocent in his soaked clothes is a reminder that the danger was grave and the stakes lethal. My mom stops laughing and looks over at Innocent, really looks at him and leans in. "Innocent, you gave me such a scare," she says. "Ah, madam," he shakes his head humbly. "It's all in a day's work."